Hello everyone. Before I start, I will introduce myself first. I am Paulo G. Sarmiento, and today I will discuss our introduction in our research entitled Climate Change and the Global Harvest Potential Impacts of the Greenhouse Effect on Agriculture. Climate change is the defining issue of our time. Shifting weather patterns that threaten food production to rising sea levels that increase the risk of catastrophic flooding. The impact of climate change are global in scope and unprecedented in scale. Human activities is one of the main reasons of these problems because they increasingly influencing the climate and the earth temperature by burning fossil fuels for the energy consumption, cutting down rainforests, and farming livestock which can affect our climate change bigger. The largest driver has been the emission of greenhouse gases, of which more than 90% are carbon dioxide and methane, which is naturally occurring in the atmosphere. And temperature rise is accelerated by climate feedbacks, such as loss of sunlight, which reflect the snow and ice cover. Increased water vapor and change to land and ocean carbon sinks is also considered. Surface temperature rise is greatest in Arctic, where it has contributed to melting permafrost, the retreat of glaciers and sea ice, and increasing the atmospheric energy and rates of evaporation will cause more intense of storms and weather extremes, which it can damage infrastructure and agriculture. And the rising of temperature are limiting ocean productivity and harming fish stocks in most parts of the globe. And for my conclusion, like I said earlier, the reason why we experience this kind of problem is because of human activities. If there is no action for this problem, soon we will be killed by the change of climate and natural disasters. But in this kind of situation, there is still a chance to reduce or prevent this problem by restoring forests, because humans have already cut down the half of world trees. Trees breathe in carbon and store it safely away where it cannot hit the earth. All forest is invaluable because their strength and size allow them to withstand the wildfires and other climate-fueled disasters. We need to stop the large-scale deforestation caused by the large-scale cattle ranching, palm oil plantations, and commercial timber. We need to bring this land back to their natural state before it's too late. And protecting wildlife is important also because they are nature first defenders. And last, we need to rebuild the coastal habitats to increase the resilience of coastal areas to climate change and to provide valuable economic and ecological services.
So we're now going to the body of our research which focus on the climate change where it affects our agricultural status. Balancing climate change with other threats to conservation priorities will prove challenging. However, many of the conservation strategies that land trusts have used over the past several decades to support the health of natural, agricultural, and cultural resources are still relevant and useful when planning for climate change. In fact, since we cannot stop all the impacts of climate change, sometimes the best action maybe is to reduce other stressors in the ecosystem. For example, we cannot prevent sea level rise from flooding coastal marshes, but we may able to increase the resilience of those marshes by reducing water pollution or protecting nearby natural areas from development. One of the best examples is that the equipment which Japan just released, it helps to prevent big waves to destroy nearby coastal areas, nearby cities or agricultural resources. So greenhouse gases occur naturally and are essential to the survival of human and millions of other living things. It keeps the sun warm from reflecting back into space and making Earth livable. But after more than century and half of industrialization, deforestation, and a large scale of agriculture, quantities of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere have risen to record levels not seen in 3 million years. As pollution, enemies, and standards of living grow, so does the cumulative level of greenhouse gas, or the GHGs emissions. The biggest challenge in our country today is about how us humans act like humans with humanity in ourselves. So, being in this generation, lack of inclusiveness, acceptance, ignorance are one of the biggest issues that we are facing, which affects our social, mental, environmental, and our agricultural and different aspects of the present in our community. Therefore, I think that it's time for us to reignite the spirit of humanity running in our blood through the actions to promote social responsibility and awareness to the frequent occurring issues, which is our focus about climate change. If we as one look back to our past, learn from them, look at today's perspective, and analyze what we could give for our fellow men and other country itself, and eventually learn to selflessly provide, then we are heading to the starting of recognition of our spirit of humanity and respect, which we are very much known for. Respect with our environment, respect with ourselves. Because if we respect ourselves and we respect our environment, then everything follows. It seems like we're also respecting the health of our loved ones, our health. So let's start now and save our planet. Thank you.